Light reflection and refraction. Light is a form of energy which produces sensation of sight in our eyes. In lower classes, you have studied about rectilinear propagation of light by experiments. It has been proved that light travels along straight line path as well as it travels like waves, which is explained on the basis of quantum theory of light. Quantum theory. I am not going in detail about that. So, here you see, if an opaque object is on the path of light becomes very small, light has tendency to bend around it and not walk in a straight line, an effect known as diffraction of light. Then the straight line treatment of optics using rays fails. To explain phenomena of such as diffraction, light is thought of as wave, the detail of which you will study in higher classes. Again, at the beginning of 20th century, it became known that the wave theory of light often becomes inadequate for treatment of interaction of light with matter, and light often behaves somewhat like a stream of particles. This confusion about the true nature of light continued for some years till a modern quantum theory of light emerged, in which light is neither a wave nor a particle. The new theory reconciles the particle properties of light with the wave nature. It is quantum theory, so it will be discussed in higher classes, but here we must discuss about reflection of light. What is reflection of light? Reflection of light. Reflection of light is a phenomenon in which light rays strikes a surface and bounces back in the same medium. Suppose we are here in class. Here is blackboard. In front of blackboard, the medium is air, which for some purpose is treated to be vacuum, though it is not vacuum perfectly. And this surface of blackboard is a surface which is not very smooth. So reflection does not take place from here. Means regular reflection. Reflection will be there because you are sitting in class, I am writing here, light falls on it and it goes in various directions due to uneven surface of the blackboard, and you can see from any corner of the class because it is irregular. But if the surface will be very plain like a plain mirror, very smooth like a mirror, then in a particular direction the rays after reflection will be visible. So very interesting phenomenon is the reflection of light, and here we can define, it is your NCERT book, and other book is which we follow generally is Lakshmi Singh's and Manjeet Kaur's book. you concern with both the books. Here, when light strikes a surface separating two media, definition of reflection is, try to understand, when rays of light strikes a surface separating two media and bounces back. It is a ray of light, it strikes the surface and bounces back. Maybe mirror, later, take a mirror here. These lines show polished surface of the mirror and front is reflecting surface. It is known as incident and reflected. So reflection is simply incidence of light and its reflection means bouncing back from the surface. So as I told you that reflection is simply bouncing back of light. When it bounces in a particular direction, it is known as regular reflection. Regular. And when it bounces back not in a specific manner, then it is called irregular reflection. Regular when it strikes on a polished and smooth surface like mirror. It is reflected, it bounces in a particular direction and can be visible in certain direction. But like wall, your page of your book, this board, diffused or irregular reflection takes place by which things becomes visible. Surface of this board is not very smooth, so irregular reflection takes place. So the board is visible from any corner of the class where you are sitting. So try to understand reflection. I told you that it is simply when light falls on a surface and bounces back from the surface of the medium. Two medias are there. One is in front of the reflecting surface, other is reflecting surface and its back. When it strikes the surface and bounces back, then it is called reflection. And I told you, if it is reflected in a particular way, in a regular way, then it is called regular reflection. But if irregular way, if it strikes an uneven or unpolished surface, then it will reflect or bounce back in a regular manner. I am just reading the board things. See here, a surface of a mirror, very smooth surface. When a ray of light is incident on it, suppose AO, it is reflected in a particular direction. This way. It goes towards B. It is not. It is regular reflection, regular one. But if surface is not even, then rays of light goes in this way, other way, this way, other way, this way. Likewise, they will intersect each other. But here, the rays of light will not intersect. They will follow a regular path, irregular. So by irregular reflection, the things becomes visible. The point is clear. Light is a form of energy which produces sensation of sight. And first phenomenon, particle nature of light, we have discussed in lower classes. But from here, in lower classes also we have studied about reflection. But again we are revising here in class 9 and 10. Now it is class 10. That regular reflection takes place from a polished and smooth surface. So there are two laws of reflection of light, which is very important here in this chapter. Often it is asked, state two laws of reflection of light. Two laws of reflection of light in case of a smooth polished surface. This way, O is incident ray, OB is reflected ray, this is normal, and this is a surface separating two medium. So, the ray which strikes the mirror is called incident ray. Incident ray. It is called a reflected ray. And ON is normal at the point of incidence. So, angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence, written as I, and angle between reflected ray and normal is called angle of reflection and written as R. So there are two laws of reflection of light. First is that incident ray, reflected ray and normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Try to understand. Incident ray, this ray, reflected ray and normal at the point of incidence, all the three lie in the same plane. Definition of plane you know now, in geometry also you have studied. And angle of incidence, that is AON, angle AON is equal to angle BON. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. These two laws are laws of reflection. Okay. So here we have studied about reflection of light. In Lakshmi Singh's book, reflection of light is given here. Reflection of light. It explains about incident ray, reflected ray, normal, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. You go through the book and try to understand. In the figure, here figure is given in Lakshmi Singh's book. Very good figure. Incident ray, reflected ray, normal, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, point of incidence. It is mirror angle. And here two laws are given. First law is that incident ray, here is written, first law. According to first law of reflection, the incident ray, try to understand and learn it by heart. The incident ray, reflected ray and normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This incident ray, reflected ray and normal, they lie in the same plane. And angle of incidence I is always equal to angle of reflection. where it is irregular or regular. In both cases, angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. This is law of reflection of light. Then given regular and irregular reflection, you see here figure is given. When a parallel beam of light, I am dealing about regular reflection. NCERT, in NCERT book it is not given, so better you follow this Lakshmi Singh's books. When a parallel beam of light strikes a surface separating two media and the reflected beam is also parallel, reflected incident beam strikes the surface and the reflected beam is also parallel to each other, then the phenomenon is known as regular reflection of light. But if surface is uneven, then even a parallel ray of light strikes the surface, but reflected beam is not parallel to each other. Rays in the reflected beam are not parallel. This phenomenon is known as irregular or diffuse reflection, which occurs on the page of your book, your notebook, on wall of your room, on blackboard. But regular reflection which occurs in mirrors or on silvered surfaces. So I discussed here reflection of light, its two laws, regular and irregular reflection of light. The two figures are given here, try to understand. Here if incident ray and reflected rays, both beams are parallel to each other in regular. But in irregular, incident rays are parallel, but reflected rays are going in many directions, in all possible directions. That's why it becomes visible from all the points, all the corners of the class or your study room. Likewise, after it, we shall take the idea of image. In NCERT book, directly after giving reflection laws, it is gives spherical mirrors, but image is an important thing. What is image? So try to understand image. When rays of light starting from a point, rays of light starting from a point, after reflection or refraction, actually meet at a point or seems to meet. Here see, it is a point object. One ray goes in this way and it is reflected. Suppose it is normal on the ray. Then by making same angle, it will be reflected in that way, somewhere. Not properly, because I have no. Another ray, suppose it falls vertically on the mirror and it goes back. When both are produced, they will meet somewhere. Our first ray is not correct. See, on this line, the distance, this distance, so it will come somewhere here. I have no spread here, a bit here. So it will go in such a way that it will come here. It is filled. So I said, when rays of light starting from a point, after reflection or refraction seems to meet, they seem to meet here, and in some cases in spherical mirrors or in other cases in lenses, they will actually meet. That point is called image of the first point. So try to understand up to here, and the time here is now our video recording can be stopped. So we have discussed light, reflection of light, regular irregular reflection, laws of reflection of light, and image I have told you. Then I shall continue with real and virtual images. So let us stop over here.